Alright, well, here's the first video on Ben the Builder getting Mom and Dad's house in proper working order because it's pretty bad. So today we're doing windows. So, follow me along as I tear apart this window and let's see how terribly it was constructed back in the 70s. You gotta make sure everything's clean all the time. You know how Mom and Dad get about messes. First things first, gotta make sure you get the caulk off of everything. So there's an L in there. Easy as that. Alright, so this is good stuff. This is, oh, hey, focus. Window flashing. It's usually a little bit more sticky than that, but it's stuck to the paper and the paper delaminated, so that's not necessarily good. Usually this sticks straight to the window, but because, as you can see, well, you will see in a second, the window is behind the plywood, which is behind the exterior insulation, which is behind the paper, which is behind this. So they couldn't really stick it to the window because there was nothing to stick it to. But we're going to remedy that once it's done correctly. But now it's time to cut through everything and get down to the framing. You can see how terribly this window's actually held in. Spoiler alert. I already know. So we'll see this one together. All right, so now we are down to what was installed in the original house, which actually there was some wood trim around this window originally. That would have been like, you know, right here back in the day, as you can see. And the house over there, there's some wood trim around it on top of the siding. But this is the original siding, which is also the sheathing, which is terrible. Usually you want those two separate things because sheathing rots, and they just painted it and called it siding. Done a bunch of the windows. It's the first time I've seen any screws around the outside of the window, which means this was repaired at some point with because it was rotting. But you can see this is a common spot for window rot or rotting around windows because the water drains down the side, it comes out this hole, and then it hits the board, goes over and right into there. And then we have the same thing over here. This sheathing doesn't even come all the way to the window. It's supposed to come all the way right into there, so that means there is nothing there, which means that glue that's supposed to be holding the window in and holding the wood down is not doing anything. And then you got the same thing up there, a little bit of rot. All right, we'll see once it's all off. This whole length, and there is nothing holding it to the side of the frame, which is insane. You're supposed to have nails or staples every 3 to 6 inches around all openings. Here to here, that's like 2 feet from zero. The other thing, it's kind of a no-no generally in construction, is splitting your pieces of plywood. So along the whole side of the house, there's 4x8 sheets of plywood, and usually you don't want to split them on the corner. So this right here is a seam. This one, 4 feet wide going that way, which is the width of the window, so it ends on the other side of the window. Double bad. And this one is right here, going from there to the corner. So typically, you want, you know, your seam of plywood to be, you know, somewhere underneath the window on a stud, not right on the corners, because it makes this whole section of window all the way up, because they're all perfectly in line, very little tied to the rest of the house. So you have this section, which is all very strong in shear strength, you know, keep the house moving side to side. You have this middle section, which is very strong, and then you have that other section, whoops, right there on the edge. It's also very strong. Then you create these two pillars, essentially the width of the window all the way up. That is very weak, which is not good. And another thing that's that way on the rest of the house. Every single window is plywood is split on either side, which is easy measurements to build on, but terrible as far as overall strength on a house. Here's the part that's actually the craziest to me, is the amount of nails actually holding the window into the house. So we have one right here, one right here. That's already more than the other window. I think there's one right around here somewhere underneath this, and then there's one up here. There is none along the top of the house, just around the top of the window. You can see just a pull on the window and it moves. There's nothing connecting it. Pretty sure it's the same thing across the bottom. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. You got these staples, which are not doing anything because they're for the plywood. And then you probably have those same four, yeah, on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top. And given that this is an aluminum window, those will pull through the frame super easily. Alright, staples are done. You'll see how easy this pops out. See? Not even the phone's held in with proper securing. Anyway, that right side of the window was actually, all 4 nails were pretty good, so surprise, surprise. I will say, the best part of these entire windows is what I'm about to show you. There is 3 screws on each side. 1, 2, and wherever it is up there. Yeah, 3. That's probably, realistically, all that's holding this window in once the plywood came off. Those other nails weren't really doing crap. Take it back. This screw was not doing anything. So I guess those nails are doing pretty good because I forgot one that's not coming out. Take 2. One more. Yeah, that's all it is. It's easy. Piece of aluminum. Alright, so we got a little bit of water discoloration because of the leaks that were in the corner. So I'm going to place this board because it's all crappy pieces. And then, yeah, no tape on the window because that wasn't a thing back in the 70s. Board's kind of crazy, but it's fine. And yeah, Nice little insulation. Got rid of all the rot. One more thing I forgot to do. Kinda. The rest of them all came out as one piece. This one is kind of dying a little bit. All right, so that's it. So I'll be back tomorrow and install those. For now, I'll just leave them like that. Mom said that she would rather live in a dump than leave it like this, but it'd be fine.